Good morning, Springfield. This is Steve McAllister with Silver Linings. So glad to be back here in the studio, and I'm just really pumped today because I've got a very special guest, and you know him, we love him, and you know him from the morning drive. Yes, that's right. The station manager, entrepreneur of of All Acts Media. Matt Pearson. He's also the worship.
The title page up for me here.
Oh, okay. He's also the worship pastor at Northwest Church, where I'm also the children's pastor. And Jay, who's the would you say the sound guy? I don't want to say just sound guy because he does a lot.
Jay's our sound technician.
I would say technician engineer. You know, he deserves that title because he really works hard on Sunday. He really does. So
almost there. I'll be there in a second. Sorry.
Okay, well,
and that at the same time.
Yeah, we really have enjoyed Matt around here. He really works hard, and folks, if you only knew what happens behind the scenes, you he's a man of many talents, and he wears a lot of hats. And the Lord's blessed him. That's the biggest thing.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Just sit here. Look at that.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, you know, this looks familiar.
It does. It feels like we've done this once or twice in our life.
Just twice,
So,
two or three times.
You know, it's weird being here without Jay, but
Yeah.
Jay is getting a lot of stuff done that he needs to get done and all that stuff. Matt, time out in 9 minutes. What?
Anyway,
yeah.
we just I appreciate your prayers for me and Rachel, but we're not going anywhere as far as I know.
So I will say that I made a mistake, and I was supposed to I tried to schedule the It's Your Call, and I scheduled it on my own timeline, and It was for 8:00, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, Steve will be here. So I changed it to 9. I did not schedule this one. I should have, because it kind of makes it easier. I can fill everything in beforehand.
Well, that's good. That's all right.
But now, now there it is.
We'll see.
Look at that. Good morning, Laura Alford, Jana Hale, Jonathan Kretzman. Anyways.
Oh, good. Hey, Jana. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
It's definitely different. Not that I, don't like hanging out with you, Steve. It's different. It's different.
Well, yeah, this time I'm the host and you're the
guest
co-host.
Becky, good morning.
No, I can't wait. I've got a good lineup after today. Not that you're not a good lineup, but after today.
No, I get it.
I've got some pretty cool guests coming. Some will be live, and I think there's only going to be one video.
I misspelled silver. It's
sliver.
It's Silvier.
Oh, Silvier. I figured it'd be sliver.
Silvier linings.
Severe. Hey, linings can't get severe.
Man, I forgot to get water. I forgot to get all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, my mouth is already dry.
Is it? It probably wouldn't have been if I hadn't pointed it out.
My BiPAP last night.
Oh, do you need a bottle of water? I can run and get one while you talk to the audience.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
I'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you, Matt.
Take care of them there, Steve.
Yeah. Yes, I will. So yeah, just be in prayer for Rachel and I. I have some I hope minor health issues. I'm still dealing with some things, but I was discharged from a couple doctors yesterday, so that means that I'm doing better apparently. So I just would want your prayers. It's been a goofy morning already. And next week, I've got a comedian who's going to be with me who's real well known in Branson. And I'm going to thank you very much, sir.
I do what I can.
Yeah. You were not the water boy, but,
you're probably wondering, man, why doesn't Matt have the computer stuff all set up in front of him? Well, I didn't want to have to move it twice.
Right.
You know, it was back there in the back before you know what, I could probably get a wireless keyboard and do it from here.
That would be awesome.
That'd be a lot easier.
Just like I almost said the wireless lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Man.
Man, if I could do that.
That's crazy. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's that guy doing? He's backing it off of I'm like, is that lawnmower moving by itself? And there's a city worker. And I was like, what is he using that for? It's for those really dangerous, steep hills. And he pulls it off and he's sitting there with his remote, just watching it. And I'm like, wow, I want one of those so bad.
Yeah, because I drove in and you were like, hey, did you see that? And I was like, what?
You look over and it's like, that looks like so much fun. So much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how? What are they? How are they doing that? Yeah, I guess. You know, I'm surprised that we didn't. All right. The first time I saw a remote control lawnmower was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids back in the 80s.
Yep, I remember that.
It had a huge antenna, and the control was like this big. You know, and I'm surprised that they're just now coming out with these things. You know, it just before you know it,
I was at a
everybody's
tech fair and I saw one.
Yeah, I want one really bad. They're probably super expensive.
Not that big, but it was like a little small little thing,
like a lawnmower for a home.
Right, that was industrial.
That was the size of a regular full-on zero turn.
Right, we're talking about. There was a lawnmower out in front of the studio,
mowing the ditch,
and it was remote control.
Yeah. And then the guys in the actual big John Deeres that came through, and they both stopped and they got out and they were all standing beside the guy watching him do it. I was like, you know, that I would probably be doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
As we grow in technology, yeah, we do too. Jana says she misses the morning drive. You know, life moves on sometimes. You know, sometimes it's God's ready for a new chapter in your life, you know?
Yep.
And you know, we got to be willing to do that. We did it. We had a good 6-year run in and you can still catch the reruns out. Just go to axmediagroup.com and there's a bunch of them on there, and our AMG productions on or AMG broadcasting, on YouTube. And,
because there's some real classics. I mean, we go way back to the garage and to the dining room table.
Now that's Axe Television Network on YouTube. You can go and see all the really old ones. Like we're talking takes 6 hours to render video and upload it to YouTube. So Jay would edit them. And there's some really funny stuff on there, like hilarious, like good old fashioned comical stuff. Of them. and sometimes a bad word here and there. Very, very seldom, but and there was one instance where Jay and I were on 2 different conversations at one time.
I thought that happened here not too long ago too.
Yeah, and the thing about it is I was trying to create content for just content stuff to talk about. So the night before, I'm reading all this news, you know, trying to find something to talk about, and I came across this. It was a story about a blind pug, a pug with no eyes. And it was about, you know, and it was a judge, I think in Georgia or Alabama, one of those states. And she adopted the dog because, you know, she likes the underdog, so to speak. She was like, it ran around the courtroom. I ran around, not the courtroom itself, but like in her office at the courthouse, and all the people were talking. Good morning, Jackie Melton. Okay.
Hey,
so-
good morning, Jackie.
Sorry, she's sending this. She's taking prayer requests. She does the prayer list.
Yeah. Oh, she does.
Okay.
She's gonna probably. You're probably gonna end up emailing me, and just I'll remind you of the prayer request from last week.
So, there was never a full moment with you guys. And then, what are you saying, dull? That's not nice, Jana. If you're saying this is dull, that's not nice. Anyways, so we're back at it here. My favorite part about that story is she talked about, just run into a tree and then I'll shake it off and go the other direction. And I just think about this pug running into trees. And it made us laugh. And then I planned on talking about finding the right significant other.
Right.
Well, that was on the agenda, and I started talking about trying to find the right significant other, a godly person, And at the same time, Jay had said something like, he was on the conversation. He says, and not a blind pug. And I didn't hear what he said before that. So I said, yeah, a blind pug would not make a very good significant other. And he goes, right. And then he realized that we were on TV. He goes, what? And we started laughing so hard watching that video. We laughed at that for a good 20 minutes, watching it over and over again. I was like, yeah, a blind pug doesn't make a good significant other. He goes, right. What? I guess you'd have to see it.
Oh,
It was
you know
too
what?
funny.
I'm imagining Jay right now. Oh, what?
Well, he said, right. What? Like he said right without even realizing what I had said. And it was so funny. We had numerous moments on there where we laughed until we couldn't hardly breathe. And then there was a lot of times where you could hear the dog barking, and he's like, oh, excuse me a moment. You hear the glass door opening. Knock it off. Okay, we're back. It's just that kind of stuff. Because it was all radio, but we were recording it on a camera similar to this. And then Jay would cut it, edit it, and upload it to Axe Television Network. So there's a bunch of them on there, and they are funny. There's one where we talked about toilet seat up or down. We had a huge debate about that. About you should put the toilet seat down. I do out of habit. If you live with a woman, you should put the toilet seat down.
I do.
But women in return should take time to look and see if it's down or not.
Right.
Them.
Then there's those times when you forget and you automatically turn around and sit down and oops, the seat ain't down.
Boy, that is definitely a surprise, because I have sat down on a toilet with the toilet seat up before, and you're expecting more coverage area as far as like holding you up.
Right.
And sometimes if it's a big enough toilet bowl, you get a nice cold splash of water, and it's not fun. Little pugs without eyes are so precious. Pugs have a very protruding eyes, and many do have one or both eyes.
That's Becky, isn't it?
Yes. She is the pug queen. She loves pugs.
Hi, Becky.
I think she has a Facebook page about pugs too.
And I love your license plate. I love pugs.
Oh yeah. You can always tell which vehicle is hers.
I know. That's how I'm like, that must be Becky's car.
I'm going out on a limb here and saying that I think she likes pugs a lot.
Yeah, I would say so. When you make a license plate that personal,
that's why it's called a personal license plate. Right, guys.
Right.
Anyways, so did you have any questions you wanted to ask? Matt, do you remember the pugs my parents were raising when we dated? Yes, I do. I do love pugs.
I love them.
They're so ugly, they're cute.
They're so ugly.
It gives me hope. Get it? Anyways, so Yeah, you had some. Did you have any questions? in there?
I did. I just want to, I was going to ask you about some memories, but you, you've already given me a good couple of them. You need to really go back and if you want to just laugh and have a good time, and if you're down and out, man, I'm telling you, been here right in the studio the last couple of years, and there's been some times where we just started laughing,
Right.
and I've been through some shows where I've wanted to cry, laugh, but mostly laugh.
Yeah.
And I've been like all the health issues I've had this last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's nuts.
Yeah, yeah, that you could say that. It was. I won't. I've had a ball.
That's and if people knew about the inside jokes on all these things, man, they'd either be really offended or just think it was hilarious. But
there's a few people out
that's
there.
why your show is called Silver Linings, because you're always looking at the silver lining. You're always looking at the silver linings, and I wish we would have called it Silver Linings from the get go, but
it's okay.
Now it's called Silver Linings,
and it's okay.
Because every clown has a silver lining.
Right. And I evolved from Brighter Living to Silver Linings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so some people like Cindy Flowers, if she's watching, she's like, Silver Linings? Isn't that for old people?
No.
I was like, you have to look at the other side of that. There's for every cloud, there's a silver lining.
Yeah, there is.
And that's going to be a movie that I'm going to be in. Starring, well, not I shouldn't say starring. The Lord really made it come together. An award-winning film director, producer has decided she wants to make a movie of my life because I told her about my life.
And you're playing the part of you?
No, I am going to be in it, but I'm going to be like talking about my life, and then somebody else is playing me as a younger me. You're younger me. Oh, that's another song from another famous group.
Yeah. So now it ended up me being the interviewer here. I like that. It's like back and forth. It's hard for me to sit back and have somebody else take the reins.
I know it is.
It's
especially this early in the morning at 8:00 hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll have to say it is kind of nice being able to sleep in.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't been. I've been so like not lost, but I just like. Am I supposed to get up at 6? Oh wait, I don't have to get up at 6:15.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, well, I kind of wish that today I would have been able to sleep in a little bit because we were up late last night, rearranging. Jay got his bunk beds that he designed and built back. We've talked about on the show.
Oh yeah,
heavy duty bunk beds. Like my roommate Barney,
right?
Jay and myself, whenever he had the bottom frame on, all stood on it and started tap dancing on it. That's how sturdy this thing is. And it didn't even wiggle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That tells a lot about Jay. So.
Well, when Jay builds stuff, he builds it, and it's going to be heavy. Just plan on it being heavy because it's going to be solid. It's going to be bolted together. And this bunk bed is amazing. And he's using the top frame for storage, to put all this stuff. But anyways, on top of that, well, he had this armoire in there that belonged to the house, and he didn't like it there. It had a TV, like the doors slide out and slide in, and it's meant for like a 20-inch, like a 22 or 27-inch TV, an old tube TV where it slides out and you can turn the TV back and forth.
Oh, I ran on a turntable type thing.
Yeah. So I didn't want to split up the set because my bedroom set is, the frame, the bed, the bed stuff like the headboard and stuff, and then the drawer, or not drawer, the dresser with the vanity mirror on it, and it's all beautiful stuff. And I didn't want to split it up, so I had to rearrange my room to be able to fit the armoire in there. So there's not a TV inside of that armoire. There is all my guns are in there now, and it's got two things that slide out. One for the TV, and then below it there's one for the VCR. Because back when VCRs were a thing, So I've got it all set up. It's really cool. There's you know, rifles and guns and stuff, and they just slide out and they look like they're displayed. It's awesome.
Like a
But
gun store.
it was like 2:00, 2:30 whenever I finally got to sleep.
Oh man!
So
And
you
then
know
you
that
had to
goes.
be here for.
I got to be here. I don't say have to. I say got to. And I've always, you know, I haven't always been that way, but Jay suggested it once where you say like I have to go to church. No, I get to go to church. You have to go to work. No, I get to go to work. You know, I get to do stuff. And when you say it like that, it makes it it makes everything a little better.
Didn't Cody say something about that at one time?
I don't know.
What? I remember hearing somebody. It might not have been, but I remember hearing somebody. You don't get to do anything, or you get to. You don't have to.
Right.
And so that's what my new language is I get to be with my wife. I get to have my health back.
Larry Melton.
Larry Melton.
About time you showed up.
Yeah, well, it's my show. It's not the morning drive, okay?
You know, but Larry watches your show.
I know he does. He's told me that.
I do say, I mean, and I didn't, I know that there are fans that are let down that we are not doing the show anymore. That's not saying it won't ever come back. Just saying right now,
it's time to take a breather.
Oh yeah. I mean, Moses had to take a break. You know, that's what it took his father-in-law to say, "Hey, man, you're doing too much. Here's what you do. You delegate." So I'm in the process of training people and all that stuff. So
and that's what you do, and you do it well.
So
if
I don't know about training people well.
I was just going to say, if people would listen to you, you'd feel like you were doing it well.
Well, and some people just each person learns in a different way and at a different capacity. So I mean, as you train one person, they might be able to watch you do it once and then be able to do it. Then you have someone who has to do it several times to be able to get close to doing it, which I've experienced. And it's just, you never know. So
people come and people go.
Oh yeah. And then you teach people stuff, and then they leave. So it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
There's just keep going on, keep moving on.
You have to.
I was going to take every day off at least this month, but since we don't really have anybody that knows how to operate the equipment yet, I'm not going to let it fall by the wayside just because I need a break. So I can take a break and do that. I can do this one one day.
Well, if there's anybody out there that can and would like to volunteer their time here at the studios, please give us a call, write in, do whatever you can, and get a hold of Matt and say, hey, I'm interested in helping you guys,
And there is kind of a vetting process, as far as like we like to get to know you because this is a volunteer position.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta have a heart for service, really, because
so you can do the right thing.
You can do the right thing and serve where needed. So any other questions?
Well, I do want to touch on a couple things. First, I know that the tech end, there's been a talk about shows that have the tech part of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it. And when you do a show such as the morning drive, and because you've got upload videos and you really have to have people help you help yourself. I mean, or let me back up and say that again.
Help yourself.
It's been a long morning already for
help me. Help you. Help me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. So the tech end of the morning drive has been difficult at times, and
the internet has issues sometimes, and you got to know what to do whenever stuff starts messing up. That's the hardest part about my job, is knowing what to do whenever everything starts to go by the wayside. It starts like falling apart.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. That's what I tell people I train. First things first, don't panic. It doesn't help anything. I'm that way myself. I used to panic. Oh no, what am I gonna do? You know, I was stressed out. But I learned, you know, stressing out makes it worse. So we had an issue. Like Pam was sitting right there, and Jim was sitting right there at the other building, and I'm still learning a lot about this software that we're using, and it started messing up. And I'm just sitting like, oh, okay, I gotta do this. And Pam's like, how are you so calm? Stressing out's gonna make it worse. Plus, I've done it before. I've messed up a lot. So, you know, the stuff messes up a lot, and you know, you're no longer freaking out about it. You're just like, okay, keep a calm head, do it. I'm still waking up. I apologize for my slowness today.
No, that's all right. And then, okay, now coming to the music. The music that you guys have heard on the morning drive in the beginning, called the song called Nails.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to play the full Nails song. I think you almost did. No, there's been a couple times.
Oh yeah, there's a couple times we just sat and listened to it.
Yeah, and you have to really listen to the song. And by the way, you're also looking at the writer of that song and several others on the CD that Jana you have. And that she just loves those songs.
So Jana listens to it all the time.
Yes,
that's awesome.
That's what she said. So, and I believe you, Jana. So, anyway, there's a lot of my friends in the Waterford area that have watched you. And
was that Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Waterford, Wisconsin. I love Canada.
Oh man,
may as well be Canada.
That you're right. So, and pray for those Canadians. On a serious side, pray for the Canadians. They opened up the border, but they've got a long list of things you have to have before you can cross into them, or they have to cross over here to the U.S.
Well, that's all right. I don't plan on going to Canada anytime soon. Like, you have to be vaccinated, I think, to get on planes now.
Something like that.
You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on with that. You know, they're saying that.
But with the music,
vaccinated people are spreading. Anyways, don't get me started on that.
Yeah. With the music that you've been producing, was Nails the first song that you guys decided to do for More the Morning Drive?
No, we used to do Nothing But the Blood by Jars of Clay.
Mm-hmm.
The opening for that. It's like somebody playing on a dobro or something. It's a really cool song.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah. So, but
back in the ATN days.
Yeah, but once we started like video recording stuff, and once we started going live on Facebook and YouTube, we had to stop with that because, you know, we didn't have the license and it kept getting muted. So,
oh man. See, that's one thing you got to be careful of, folks, is when you're doing something live on Facebook, whether it's any platform, you just got to be careful of the licensing part, because if you play music like poor Randy, there was this.
Oh yeah, every time he does something, it gets muted because he does what they call parodies. So what he does is he takes these old show, like, not show tunes. What are they?
Classic 50s or 60s or 70s.
You know, like "Luck Be Your Lady Tonight." You know, whatever those are. I guess those aren't big bands.
Those are classic.
They're I can't remember what they call it, but like.
Well, if you can think of it, just let us know if you can think of it.
Anyways, and he rewrites them and turns them into Christian songs. And, you know, Facebook does not like that. Facebook does not like that. Neither does YouTube. It will get muted. Not as much on YouTube, but on on YouTube it will too. It'll mute it on YouTube if there's copyrights to any part of that music, especially if it's like, we had a guest that said she wrote all these songs. And every time she sang any of them,
I know who you're talking about,
they got muted. And I think it's because they used a background track that was professionally produced by another company. And that music is owned by a very large tech company that obviously it got muted for that purpose.
And she ended up singing a cappella.
Yeah. If you, I didn't even think of trying that. If she sang it a cappella, would it got muted? Huh? I don't know. We'll never know now.
No, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So yeah, just be careful, folks. If you ever do anything like that, make sure that it's either what do they call it? Now, I'm just got a brain freeze, but I think it's before 1929 or something like that.
Well, those are so fresh and new still.
Right. So you got to be careful, because then you're going to end up playing something, and all of a sudden you're going to find out it's muted, and now you know why. Is because you got to make sure it's if it's licensed, make sure the person that's behind it knows about it. You get a written permission. That's the other thing. We always have to make sure that you have to make sure before any show that
that we have the right to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of my job, and it's maybe kind of boring for some people. And I've had to explain to numerous people, we cannot play that song. You cannot do that song unless I get written permission from the owner of it.
Yeah.
It has to be written, signed, something to put in a file, so that if Facebook or YouTube or whoever mutes it or tries to sue us, we've got permission from the owner of this song. So whoever owns it, whether it be video.
Yeah, because I've got some videos, and by the way, starting in September, I'm going to have a song at the beginning of my show, in the in and the out, the bumper. So I'll be able to play the music you've got the permission from one person. I got to email you permission from the other person.
Yeah, and that's all part of the excitement that is running everything.
And so now you know why he's really busy, because he not only hosted the morning drive, but he did a lot of things. He's doing a lot of things currently behind the scenes. So pray for Matt.
I tell you, I couldn't have done any of it without Jay either. Jay is still my right-hand man.
Two peas in a pod,
I'm
man.
telling you. We got a show coming up next called It's Your Call.
Okay.
And it is pretty funny. And I'm like, whenever we get really, really old, that's probably going to be Jay and I. Okay, I'm not saying that they're really, really old, but that's going to be. I say that because Dwayne Long just started watching. Love you guys.
And then John Penny, he's my buddy. He's
Penny. They're great guys. They're funny. They have a really good back and forth that they do. And I spent 3 hours with you guys the other day. They were pre-recording some of their shows, and we'll be playing one of those videos today. And it's pretty. They're pretty funny. If you haven't watched it before, you should watch it. They got one about the Big 12 Shakedown coming up next.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one, folks. So stay tuned for that.
I guess that's a championship of some sort in basketball. That's what the Big 12 is.
Yeah, the Big 12 is also, well, the Big 10 I know is football.
Is it Big 10 football? Was that college football?
College, and then Big 12. So, because it is
Steve Schultz is watching.
Oh, my buddy Steve. And
the other Steve.
You know what? That's the other guy I wanted to tell you. Folks, there was another gentleman before I came along that was part of your show for quite a while.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah, he came every Wednesday.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah,
anyway.
I remember so a really funny point in the history of the morning drive. So Steve Schultz, we had really kind of started getting to know one another, like really good. But so we were kind of strangers at this point. And he was, we saw each other at church every first and third Sunday, and visited and stuff, and never really hung out. But he started coming over to the show. And so I had my guitar one time, and he's like ready, he's like, yeah, all right. So I stretched the strings and played way out of tune intentionally and sang horribly. And Jay was just like, yeah, that's with the straight face that Jay does. That's beautiful. And you can see the look of confusion for the moment on Steve Schultz's face. And then that's one of those moments that we started laughing really hard because he was like, okay, yeah, I guess he looked really confused about it. And I said, voice of an angel, just as straight faced as possible. And then we broke into laughter. It was funny. I still do that from time to time. I'll stretch the strings out and just start playing way out of tune. And the whole band will join me.
Oh,
Everybody
man.
will start playing just really bad and terrible. And the look of confusion on people's faces is awesome. So
That one moment thing, because I know we're running about out of time.
yeah, we got 2 minutes.
I can't believe it. Good News Band, that's who you lead, and that's actually the song Nails that you play at the beginning of Morning Drive.
Yep.
That was actually the Good News Band, which is your band.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have any schedules, or do you have any new CDs?
Yeah, we're playing
out?
not this Friday, but the following Friday at Grant Beach Park.
Okay.
For National Night Out. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Wow. Do you have any current CDs?
No, I mean our CD we made like 4 or 5 years ago, and we worked really hard on it. And it was done in a dining room. So
Man.
yeah, and we can get you copies of those CDs still.
Right. I know we didn't have time to play your songs, but you need to. Can they look Good News Band up?
Yeah, you can look up Good News Ministries with a Z at the end of news, NEWZ. We have some of our songs on there.
Okay, well then you catch
on YouTube.
Yeah, catch Matt Pearson and the Good News Band on YouTube and that. But but come by, even if you just want to come by and if you'd like to donate, come in person or donate
here.
Here.
Yeah, they could do that. The easiest way to
yeah.
do it is to go online to axmediagroup.com and go to the donate button on there. You don't have to have a PayPal account to get it, and you'll be helping to serve where needed.
Right. So, but come by. I'm sure that they just come by.
I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go behind the computers now.
Okay.
As you wind it down. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks, Matt. Well, folks, we've got a good show for you coming up on next. It's Your Call with Dwayne Long, and John Penny, and stay tuned for that. And I'll see you next week with a great guest, and whether it be here in the studio or whether it